Good morning, Matt Goss.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm not bad. There you are in Vegas. Here I am in Scotland, and you're looking sensational as always. How are you keeping?
Are you looking a little bit more rock star than last time I saw you, mate, with a little short chain. And I mean, you get.
So, let me ask you, first of all, I know we're going to talk about the new single and the new album, but let's talk to you about the past year or so. How much have you missed performing live on stage?
To be honest with you, at the very beginning, after doing about 100 shows, at least 100 shows a year for 10 years at Caesar's Palace and etc. It was in a weird way. I actually needed the break. I fell completely out of love with music, and I fell out of love with songwriting, and I didn't want to see a piano or a guitar or even pick up a microphone. But through actually connecting with the fans and their, dealing with real big issues, mental health issues, and just connecting and seeing their families, their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their wives, it actually made me remember why I love my fans so much. And they actually made me remember that they also want me to keep writing. And I actually wrote a song called Shipwreck and called Babyface, and he said, come to LA and record it. And that was the catalyst to me actually wanting to write a massive pop record again.
If it wasn't for the fans and the love and respect that they have for you, would I be speaking to you today? Would you have not done any more music?
I really don't know, my friend. I definitely felt like I was entertained out. I was 10 years. I'm very, very proud of, the thousands of shows that I've done and stuff like that, but I was very tired. And I think that I may have, I really don't know. It was a tough question. I definitely felt a sense of loss, like many musicians, like getting on stage and connecting with audiences. It was a massive sense of loss, but it was in some ways cathartic and needed, I guess.
I'm in a very privileged position. I get to meet and speak to some fascinating, wonderful people, whether they were huge stars in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or whether they're huge stars of today. And one thing that I've always recognized with you is the loyalty that your fans have for you, the love they have for you, the respect they have for you. They are with you every step of the way, through thick or thin. I've never seen anything quite like the fans of Matt Goss. There's something else, aren't they?
I think, first of all, thank you for acknowledging them. And I feel the same way about you. And I'm drawn to kindness, and I'm drawn to loving human beings that aren't too cool for school and just say what they feel, like you do and like my fans do, and hopefully like I do. I just, life is too short, really, mate. And I think what it is with my fans is that we still have a sense of rebellion. We still have a sense of journey. And within my universe, they've come all over the world with me. And it's not just the UK, they've come all over the world on this journey, and it continues. And I think that we really love each other and really understand each other.
Do you still get a buzz out of meeting your fans and performing in front of the fans? I know you went through a moment where you were entertained out, but do you feed off that energy from the fans?
Yeah, I mean, there's an incredible familiarity to certain faces I see on the front row, and I'm like, there you are, you're still here. And obviously through the journey of life, we've lost some of the fans during COVID, but then there's new fans coming in, younger audience because of the movie after the screaming stops, and just there's this constant evolution to the experience. So the buzz of seeing the fans, the buzz of hearing my record on the radio, it doesn't get old. I mean, that's the reason I'm in this. I'm going to shoot the new video and in LA, and the people that I know and my managers and my friends, they're all in the video. And that's why it's just rock and roll. Like, if you're not excited about those things still, making film and making videos and making records and going on stage, then what's the point of it? I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, but everything still excites me.
The Matt Goss of today, what's different about you from the Matt Goss of the 1980s when you were riding the crest of a wave with the band Bros? What's changed for you?
I think my core is pretty much the same. My belief in kindness and my belief in to slightly romanticize things and enjoy things. I think that's still the same. I'm still the same person. I think back then I was more embarrassed about my my absolute awe of life. And now I'm like, I am who I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and what you see is what you get. I am now more present, I guess, in the fact that, I think it was a more of a defensive stance, because we didn't have social media, so you couldn't go on and rectify a story. There was, we are the middlemen now. We can just go, actually, that isn't what happened. This is what happened. So there's a responsible approach to journalism and the delivery of information. Like back then, you would have to wait for the next big interview to put the last story right. So now you can just sit back and enjoy the ride, and just speak the truth, and whatever that is, as long as it resonates from a truthful place. And I think it will then resonate with the people that are listening.
It's quite a remarkable journey that you've been on. Have you enjoyed it, or have there been moments of where you've regretted certain things, or that you wish you hadn't done, or do you just look back and think, you know what, that was just a learning experience, and I'm going to learn from that?
I think that everyone has gone through stuff, whether you're a musician or, we are known but my brother and I are known in every country in the world almost. And it's not just the UK. There's this kind of, we're familiar to many countries, and it's hard to explain to one country than another country. So I think that the journey is so diverse. I didn't think I was going to go to Vegas and then, really succeed there, and just, my grandfather always said, Matt, go to Vegas and learn more. And that's exactly what I did. I've learned so much, and I continue to learn. So I think part of this journey is in, learning from my mistakes. And maybe I've trusted a little too much at times, and I've been swimming with sharks. And I think in this industry, you just have to know when to bite, and then when to just say nothing. When in doubt, say nothing. I would recommend that to anyone in business or in relationships. When in doubt, say nothing. It comes in handy within this industry, certainly.
I still haven't learned that, Matt.
You're one of the kindest. You're genuinely one of the kindest, most genuine people. I think that's why we've sparked up a friendship, because when I came, I was in awe of not just yourself, but everyone around you. You're the real deal, my friend. The real deal.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Matt. And you're there in Vegas. It's a shame you're not here in the UK, but I know you're going to be coming back very soon. But let's talk about the new single, Somewhere to Fall, from the new album, The Beautiful Unknown. Tell us all about it. I know you're excited about it.
Yeah, we're getting such a good reaction. We're approaching 1 million views in the last 4 days. The reviews have been literally 100% positive. And I just know that when I knew that I wouldn't even want to do this interview with you unless I didn't know that I had the best pop record of my life. I really have the best pop record of my life. I know what we've got to come. This lead single is a good record, but there's many more to follow this, and I know what we've got. The Beautiful Unknown is called that because we have an inherent fear right now within us, and I just want to believe that tomorrow and the unknown is going to be a beautiful thing, and I want to encourage that. And the single Somewhere to Fall is really about finding that exact thing, just somewhere to rest your strength. Because we talk about weakness a lot, and I would rather use the expression rest your strength and find somewhere to fall, acknowledge some of your grief and whatever it may be, and then just rest your strength for a second, then crack on with your lovely life. And that's what I would like to encourage within this record. It's a very truthful record, this album.
How long did it take you to get to where you are now with this album before you were happy for us to get it and to hear it?
Probably about 15 months. 15
Wow.
months until, yeah. And then even the video, I needed the video to strike a few chords. The video is doing really well because I think it's very ethereal, and it's got the symbolism in the video. Nobody's actually managed to. I would love people to try and decipher the imagery in the video, because it's very, very specific, and a lot of people think it's about my mum and my granddad, but it's actually not. My mum's certainly in there, but it's much more diverse than that. So even with the imagery that surrounds the record, I want to be mindful and thought-provoking.
So you're teasing us about the album, saying it's the best pop album that you've made.
Is.
And you never know what's going to come in the future, right enough. But see, when it comes to the album, The Beautiful Unknown, is it an album that is coming from your heart? Is it coming from your life experiences, or is it just about what you see around you?
I think it's all of the above. I mean, that's why you do what you do so well. It's all of the above. There's some very, very truthful moments on this record about some relationships I've gone through, or relationship troubles I've been through in COVID and beyond. It's about, you know, I was very connected to I am somewhat connected to my grief of the loss of my mother, and in some strange way, I thought that would bring me closer to her and keep me close to her. And I have to listen to my own advice on this record and the beautiful unknown, that is that I have to believe that she's in my heart, that she's around me, and the pain that I feel about that experience, that isn't the thing that connects me to her. It's my memory and the joy and the laughter we shared. So it's very honest. It's, you know, it talks about certain things in the industry that I've been through, relationship wise, family. So it's a snapshot, you know. But I did only listen to commercial radio. I only listened to commercial radio for 6 months. I didn't listen to one Stevie Wonder record. I didn't listen to any of my influences. I just listened to commercial radio every single day to saturate my creative mind.
You've talked about your mum quite a bit, and I've known you for a good while now, and I know how much you love your mum, how much you miss your mum. Has this album helped you to let go?
I think.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that, Matt?
Of course, yeah. I think it's been cathartic, but I think that, you know, it's like an observation. You know, you feel observed. You know, if you have faith, which I do, I believe my mum is continuously observing me. I think that she wants me to write something that is current. I don't think she just wants me to write a record. She wants me to write a current record. I feel current. I think I look current, and I sound current on this record. And I think that's what she would want. So I feel very observed by her, and hopefully I'll make her proud. And I live my life as if I speak about her as if she's still with me. It helps me through my journey.
There's no doubt about it that your mum is going to be proud of you. I'm not so sure she'd want you to be sat there with 4 buttons undone on your shirt. She'd maybe want you to maybe button one of them up.
Are you getting slightly aroused? I mean, you're getting slightly aroused. It's early. It's natural. I mean, you're only human.
Yeah. What, I mean, you're looking as hot as ever, and I can see why the fans love you, adore you, and they all want to marry you. I don't know how many times have you been proposed to over the years?
I think they're getting a little bit more naughty than proposals, my friend. It's some of them just want a very long, meaningful overnight relationship. Let's just put it that way. A little bit like yourself. I know exactly what you're going to be thinking of. I mean, I'm at home. I've got 4 buttons undone. Now I'm going to what? You want me to button up my shirt?
No, the fans don't want you to button up any of your buttons, so don't be doing that.
Well,
I'm going to ask you one other thing before we move on. And again, it's one of those questions I know you'll get asked over and over and over and over again. And I've got to ask it because the fans expect me to ask it because of who you are and because you mean so much to them. Will Bros ever do a tour again? Will they ever get back together again?
We have made an absolute promise that we will never leave the band. Me and my brother have made an absolute promise that we will forever be in Bros. And so therefore, I think we both want to make an album that's current, and we want to make a record that it reflects his musical taste and mine. I think that after the Screaming stops, you saw some button of heads. I think that creating music together is going to be a real challenge, because we both love very different kinds of music, but we're both committed to finding out each other's creative language. So yeah, there absolutely will be some more shows, and there will be another record. We just got to get there.
Matt Goss, as always, it's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us this morning. And we'll see you in the UK in the not too distant future.
Thank you for the love, you, and nothing but love to your listeners. And I'll see you in Scotland pretty soon, my friend, all right?